Now. Run. Barry. Run.
Oh my god, he's so fast. Oh, look at him go. Look at his legs. But you know, unlike some people, he's got his own identity and has some pretty decent CC and utility and isn't just a rhinoceros on roller skates. You know what isn't decent though? Volt's passive. Yeah, that's me. I got better segues than Segway. Volt's passive is static discharge. Moving along the ground generates bonus electricity damage on Volt's next attack or ability. This damage can stack all the way up to 1,000 if you travel 200 meters without attacking. Now I know what you're thinking. 1,000 damage? That's a big number. And yeah, that's not exactly false. However, 200 meters is a lot farther than you think it is, and considering how cramped most areas of Warframe are, this is almost never going to be noticeable. Sonic the Hedgehog's 1 is Shock. If Volt shoots some lightning, that's it. This will stun the first enemy hit, and then chain to 5 nearby enemies who will also be stunned. In a late game, Shock can be a lifesaver in a lot of situations. You find a bombard in a dark alley, you misposition next to a horde of butchers, your wife tries to leave you, you just get them all dancing to your funky beat. Your shock trooper adds electricity damage to the weapon of any ally you shock, which is fine, but it probably isn't better than just zapping a big old butt. Usain Bolt's 2 is speed. Okay, hold on. Nope, yeah, that's what it's called. Speed make go fast! Yeah, did you expect anything else? Specifically, this increases your movement, melee, and reload speed and can get kinda insane if you stack enough power strength. And it works on allies within range 2, which is pretty nice. Shocking speed surrounds anyone affected by speed with a little teeny tiny aura that deals electricity damage with guaranteed procs. You know what that means? That means you stun them. Rescues, assassinations, or anything else that you can just run through to last less than a minute. Well, this augment, well, it does the do, as the kids say. Pikachu's 3 is Electric Shield. Volt conjures a shield out of electricity that blocks all incoming fire for its entire duration. Any friendly fire shot through the shield will gain some electricity damage and a metric fuckton of bonus damage on any critical hit. You can also pick up the shield and carry it with you at the cost of some energy. Shooting through the shield with a crit weapon means that any enemy in your sights will turn into a big pile of mush. Stacking the shields won't increase the damage, but it does make Volt pretty good at defending objectives. Transistor Shield makes it so that allies can move your shield. It does other things too, but that right there is such a massive downside that you should never consider using it. And Keemstar's 4 is Discharge. Okay, here we go. Any enemy within Discharge's range will be stunned. These enemies will emit little arcs of electricity that will stun other enemies that come near them. The enemies initially affected by Discharge will not be damaged until 4 seconds after the ability is activated, at which point they will begin to receive steady ticks of electricity damage. The damage and stun duration on Discharge decreases as enemies get farther away from Volt. Oh boy, okay, that's a lot of words. Now, I had a whole thing written on how not good Discharge is, but DE, heaven praise their name, removed the old 4,000 damage cap. Now, this ability is actually really fucking good. It kind of functions as a store-brand Rhino Stomp, but that's really not that bad. Something to keep in mind, though, is that this ability is not one you can panic on. The really lengthy cast animation on Discharge leaves the relatively squishy Volt very vulnerable, so be mindful of your positioning. Capacitance converts 3% of Discharge's damage into shields for Volt and his allies, which is nice, but as with most of Volt's augments, it's probably not worth a mod slot. Alright, let's talk builds. Volt has quite a few of them. The most popular is Speed Volt, which stacks strength and duration to get maximum use out of being Sonic Incarnate. This is useful for anything that requires movement, but if you get too greedy, you're gonna run dangerously low on energy, making this build worse in longer game modes like Defense. My preferred way to play Volt still puts the emphasis on speed with strength and duration, but stays away from stuff like blind range in exchange for some survivability with vitality and redirection, as well as things like stretch to get more range. This build is nice and balanced, making use of every ability, yes, even discharge, as well as still being he goes fast, that's what he does.